my channel, Reclaiming Jen, where moms can take a break from the busy mom life and focus on their own needs, wants, and goals. On my channel, I talk about online teaching, and I can't wait to tell you about how you can apply to Outschool. Outschool is an online marketplace where you can teach whatever you are passionate about. You do not need a degree of any sort or any specific schooling. What you need is passion and experience and the desire to pass those skills and information on to young learners. In today's video, I'm going to share with you the application process for Outschool. But first, I want to talk to you about why I like to teach on Outschool. If you've been following my journey for a while, you will know that I have stalled and put the brakes on at the suggestion that I should begin teaching with Outschool. It kind of sounds like how I started my teaching career in general. Why would I want to be a teacher? I don't want to bring home that homework. Who wants to do that? Which is why I ended up being a substitute teacher for the duration of my career, with the exception of a few long-term stints in between there, but I loved the flexibility of that. So anyway, Outschool, you have to make your own lesson plans. Oh, and that is what I didn't like about the idea of teaching with Outschool. Coming over from VIPKid, where the lessons are laid out for you, you just quickly review it, and away you go and get your props and all those things. It's very easy and non-stressful, and it's just it was a joy to teach with VIPKid. It was great. So coming over to Outschool, it took a lot of work to transition to making my own lessons and posting my classes on Outschool, and just having that confidence to realize that I can do it. So I am at the stage with Outschool now, which is why it's taking me so long to make a video about Outschool's hiring process, is because I wanted to be sure that I could authentically tell you that, guys, I do really like teaching for Outschool, and I think you will too. Just a little bit more about Outschool. Outschool is an American-based company where they have over 1 million learners. So instead of trying to find your learners or your tutoring students from your local area by posting flyers and on Marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, or websites that are local to you, this gives you the opportunity to have students around the world, and Outschool does the marketing for you. Now, does that come at a cost? Yeah, it sure does. But I'm going to tell you more about that in just a moment. Outschool uses Zoom to teach the classes. Outschool also advertises your class on places like Facebook and Instagram. So it's kind of cool when you have a class and you're scrolling through your Instagram and up pops your face on an Outschool ad. So that's pretty cool. It does come at a cost of 30% of what you charge for your class or per student. That's right. You get to set the cost of how much your class is worth and how much you want to get paid for that class. Outschool requirements. The Outschool requirements are that you reside full-time in the USA, the US, Canada, Australia, New Zealand, England, or Wales. Now, can you go to Mexico on vacation? Can you go visit grandma somewhere else? Yes, you sure can. But Outschool does require you to live in one of these countries full-time. If you're thinking, hey, I have a US address I can use, maybe that'll work, you need to look into that a little bit further, because I don't think that it's possible. But if it is, let me know in the comments below. Tell me about your story. Fill us in. Awesome. Thank you. All right. So other requirements that you need to have expertise or passion in something that you will base your classes on. Okay. I am a certified teacher. I do have classroom experience. So I listed my classes as a math class, perhaps. And at the time I was like, I'm not teaching math, I'm teaching ESL. But you can apply with something that you do have passion for, even though if you have another idea, set up and that you'd like to do, or maybe you'd like to do 2 or 3 things like I do. I do ESL and I do literacy classes and I do math classes, okay? And you might change your mind along the way. And I'm gonna tell you what to do in your application to get through the application process. All right, you need to have fast and reliable internet connection. You need to be tech savvy enough to run online classes. Can anyone learn this? Yes. You can, okay? It's easy to practice using Zoom with a family member or with several family members so you can see how they all pop up in your screen on Zoom, okay? This is doable. You can do it, okay? You need to have a good command of written and spoken English, and you need to pass a background check and submit photo ID, okay? So that's pretty simple. Didn't say anything about a high school diploma, didn't say anything about a college diploma, didn't say anything about a university degree. No, okay? Anyone can teach on Outschool. And I've been talking about this and sharing about this for like 2 years, because even though it wasn't for me, I knew that it was for somebody. Like, it is awesome, okay? So that's why I've been sharing it for so long. I've told my chiropractor about it. I've told my friends who want to stay at home. I've told my mechanic about it. Like, anyone can come on here and do it. And you can do anything. There are classes like dance. I've been telling my niece, get on Outschool. She already has a great job while she's in university, but she could teach dance classes or stretching classes or gymnastics classes. Gymnastics classes are really in demand. A fitness class. You can teach baking. You can teach how to make boba tea. You can teach crafts and art and painting classes, and which I think are so cool. Like, and the setups that the teachers have is so cool too. How they, can do so much in an online classroom. So, and some teachers make it so awesome. There's even a class about farts. I wish my kid would have taken that just so I could sit in on it. So anyway, like I said, you can teach anything on Outschool and you can be successful. And let me tell you, there are some really, really successful teachers making the big bucks on Outschool. My goal is to sustain, to enjoy my job, and to make money without having to go back to my brick and mortar job, and to provide for my family and support my family with income. And I don't know, I'm not sure where this journey goes from here, but I am trying to get the courage and the confidence to start eventually group classes, because there is a little bit more money and reach. You can reach more students if you're in a group class. So something that's in the back of my mind. My schedule is almost full with one-on-one tutoring classes. So if you are like, I don't want too many kids in my class, you can teach on Outschool one-on-one. You can tutor, you can help kids read, you can have a story time, you can have tea and crumpets time, you can have dress up time with share your stuffed animal time, kindergarten circle time. Guys, you can do anything on Outschool. So some of the cons with Outschool include that, Outschool does take a portion of your pay. Which it really isn't a portion of your pay, because you determine what you want to get paid, and then you put your class up a little bit higher to cover the cost of the marketing that Outschool is going to take. So if my class is $35 US to a parent, I'm coming home with $24.50 US from that 30-minute one-on-one class, okay? So consider that. That's what you're going to do with your pricing. A typical price for a group class of maybe 4, 5, 6 class students is maybe like $8 or $9 per student. So if you have 6, then let's just say $9 per student, half an hour class, 9 times 6 is $54 US, and then you take that 30% off, whatever that is. I mean, obviously I didn't come prepared with those numbers, but you can see how that is. So another con is that if you meet a student on Outschool, you can't take that student off of the platform. That's a no-no with Outschool. So let's talk about how long it took me to get started on Outschool. I started teaching in June. So I created classes for ESL, a time to chat class, which was a conversation class, and then an actual helping kids that are ESL students to improve their English. And a lot of the times the kids that came to me were well versed in English but needed to polish up their verb tense or their pronunciation or their writing. So those are the students that I encountered with those classes when I started. Now, I started that while I was still working for VIPKid, so I didn't have a lot of time to devote to Outschool because I was still pretty full-time or full. My schedule was full. I don't want to say I'm full-time because I don't. I work part-time. But I do feel that working for Outschool, it takes less time to find your students. And there are so many resources to help you do the things you need to do to increase the traffic to your classes. We have, you know, there's teachers on Outschool, on YouTube that help you use keywords and tags and, in your description and in your title of your classes so that when the parents are typing in what they're looking for on Outschool, your class gets seen. So it's not just about, oh my gosh, I have an awesome class to offer and it's so unique and everyone's gonna love it, but you need the techie SEO, like search engine optimization knowledge too, to optimize your search results on Outschool. And I know that might sound, oh gosh, I don't know how to do that, but you can learn. There's plenty of people on YouTube to help you do that. If you're on Instagram, there's people there too, but YouTube is a great place to find advice from people in the trenches. So don't worry, don't be turned off because of that sort of thing. Okay. And so once you have, you know, established yourself on Outschool, you'll feel confident with the class load that you have, you can start, you know, adding on other streams of income, which is really important with online teaching, is that you have multiple streams of income. We at VIPKid learned that fairly quickly that was important when, you know, if we depended solely on VIPKid and then, you know, ESL kind of came crumbling down, it was really important to have built up more streams of income than just one. So, you know, you could be posting your lessons on Teachers Pay Teachers. You could be, maybe you have resources or PowerPoint. You guys, if you have PowerPoint and you are not getting that out to the masses, like that's what I'm looking for. And that's an upcoming video I have, is some awesome slides or curriculum that people are creating. And it's so much more awesome now than it was when I was first starting to teach privately. I was, you know, trying so hard to find the right curriculum for me, and there are some really awesome resources, some subscriptions that you can subscribe to help you with your planning and with your classes. And yes, most of these people allow you to use their resources on Outschool. So that's an upcoming video, okay? So if you're wondering, what can teaching online do for me? Like, why do I want to do this? What benefits does it have? Guys, you just take back and start owning your time again. You are the master of your destiny. You really get to just take back your time. You make your schedule. And if you are too busy, guess what? It's the only person that is to blame for that is you. So you get to control when and where and how much, right? How much you work, how much you charge, what is your worth, right? So there are a lot of videos about that too. Some people, you know, undercharging, or, you know, you've got a lot of experience. Even if you just have life experience, somebody needs that and they'll pay for it. I'll pay for a mechanic because I have no clue what to do, right? I will pay someone to redo my website, which I'm not planning to do, but if I did it again, I would definitely, you know, hand that responsibility over to someone who's an expert so that they could help me with that, because that was one of the most stressful things about online teaching for me. So people will pay you for your expertise and for the way that you deliver it too, right? And that's another thing that I can talk about with Outschool. You know, you want to have something else for those students to go to. If you want to attract those kids and those families, and when their class is done with you, you want to have something else that they can come to. So maybe you're having a class on fractions and it's a camp, or it's an 8-week program, and they're there and they loved it and they learned so much. Well, now that parent wants the next unit, or she wants you to help with spelling too. So you need to have another place where you can funnel those parents so that they will stay with you. Okay, and that's continuing to generate return students, which return students are really important. So in your application, you need to remember to be yourself. You need to choose something specific and use a lot of details about what your plan is for that lesson. And you need to come in your video application with confidence. There are 3 steps to getting hired with Outschool. First, you do a little bit of an about you kind of typey thing. And then the other thing is to give a class example, so pretty much a lesson plan. And then the other one is a video application, which is a demo lesson of your class. And I believe it's 3 to 5 minutes that your video needs to be. And since you don't have to have a degree or prove your expertise in some way with a diploma or some certificate that tells you, hey, I'm an expert, you need to show that you are an expert and you're passionate in your application, including your about me, your video submission, and your lesson plan. I would say if you're telling about your experience or your resume in your about you, and you say that you're a classroom teacher, you've taught elementary for all this time, and then you say, hey, I'm gonna show you that I have this great juggling class. I mean, maybe save the juggling class for when you're actually hired and do the kindergarten class that you have taught over your career, because you know you're an expert in that. Or maybe your passion is to bake, but you don't have baking experience outside of your own home, but you are a preschool teacher or an ECE, and you've been doing that for 20 years and you want to come home and you want to stay home with your new baby or whatever it is, then I guess that doesn't pretty much add up. 20 years teaching, now you're having a baby. But anyway, you get my point. I am good at math, I promise you. But that's just what I'm saying, is that choose something maybe that you can put on paper that you're experienced with, and teach that lesson and give that lesson plan to the application, so it kind of all lines up. What are you most qualified for, and make a lesson off of that. Okay, I even think that I can't remember, but I think I did a kindergarten lesson plan because I am a teacher. Do I want to teach kindergarten prep? Yes, I'm thinking about doing that next, but you don't want to come on and say, well, I teach JK to grade 12 and not really niche down to what you enjoy or what you are experienced with. Does that make sense? Okay. And then there are some Outschool categories that you will have to choose one of them to say which one your lesson fits into. Some of those include arts, English, coding, health and wellness, like that sort of thing. So there's a list of those. So yours has to kind of fit in one of those. Now, when you're talking about the lesson plan for your class that you're creating, you especially want to talk about how you're going to engage the students. How will you keep their attention? How will you make the class fun? And how will you make them stay with you on the screen for the entire class? Okay, will you use slides? Will you use a storybook? Will you use props? Will you have an escape room kind of theme? Will you have a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles theme? in your application, be specific about how you plan to keep the attention of your students. And then of course, talk about how your class is unique compared to other classes that might be offered. What can you offer that's unique? Now, the Outschool evaluator will have read all about you and looked at your lesson plan, and now your video application, keep your intro quick because they've already been reading about you, and you want to get in there and start your lesson so they can see an example of how you teach. And don't worry, because if you don't succeed, you can try again, okay? I would recommend, if you don't reach out to someone the first time around and you have not passed the first time, take your feedback and reach out to somebody on YouTube, reach out to me. There are referral coaches with Outschool, and they are willing to help you. Outschool does offer the referral coaches a good bonus for helping new awesome teachers come to the platform. So it's $200 US for you to help someone else get hired with Outschool. So don't be afraid to reach out to somebody to have your questions answered, or to voice your concerns to, or just to get a boost of confidence from somebody who's already in it. If you are interested in having me help you with the application process, my email is reclaimingjen@gmail.com. That is the best way to get a hold of me, to have a quick answer from me. I always get email notifications and notifications from YouTube that someone has commented on a video. There is a link in the description of this video and all my videos about how to start about where to start to apply to Outschool. So check that out in the description. All right, this video is getting a little bit long. One more thing I want to talk about is, if you're considering teaching on Outschool, I want you to go to Outschool and type in what you would like to teach, or what you're thinking about teaching, or maybe even just what classes your child might like to take, and see what comes up. Market research is important because it tells you what people are looking for, right? You can type in that search bar even just one letter, and it's going to bring up the things that people are searching for. Just like when you search for Google or search in YouTube, it gives you ideas, or finishes your words to give you ideas about what other people are searching for, what are popular searches. So that is called doing market research, because if you find that there are 100 classes about multiplication, then you're going to have trouble finding your way into that when there's already experienced teachers there. So you want to figure out how you can make your class unique, how you can make your class title and your description unique, so that you can stand out there. So check out what people are wanting. There are also on the website, we get emails that tell what parents are searching for, what kids are searching for. Use YouTube as well. I'm sure there's information there about popular classes and stuff like that. So especially those videos that say, I made this much money this year, and you can get an idea from those people what they're teaching, and go from there. So and just because somebody's making 6 figures on Outschool doesn't mean that needs to be your goal. It's certainly not my goal. I mean, that would be great though. I mean, anyway, but it can give you an idea of the potential that you have. And of course, look at the classes, look at the class listings and the description of the classes, so that you can get an idea of how to make your own class listing. Do not copy someone else's, okay? That upsets a lot of people, and it should. You want to remain authentic in what you offer your students. Also, I love tutoring, because when you're just not sure what you want to teach, I offer elementary literacy classes, and when someone signs up for my class, the parent tells me, we want you to work on this with them. So they already tell you it needs to be spelling, and they're in this grade level, and that sort of thing. Or if math, we're homeschooling. I get a lot of homeschool students because I teach in the morning Eastern time, so I'm getting homeschool kids, and maybe the parents just need a little boost, or the kids are tired of listening to their parents, or whatever. They need another outlet during homeschool, and you are it. So don't forget about tutoring one-on-one. All right, guys, that is my Outschool video. Let me know what your thoughts are. Let me know if I can help you. Again, reclaimingjen@gmail.com if you want to ask me questions or you want me to be your coach, the link is in the description to apply to Outschool. All right, guys, I'll talk to you in the next video. See you. Goodbye.